Welcome back to the Hood Needs Fantasy Football Podcast. This is episode 47, waiver pickups, week 11. I got my dogs with me, MFB
Was good.
and BBTB.
Bam 550, do what it does, what it do, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, not this again, bro. Not this again, bro. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and jump into your week 11 waivers. There's not a lot here, but there's some names that are worth mentioning and that you should definitely keep an eye out on in your leagues. Let's start with QB, Russell Wilson, who had a nice game this week they played Washington. So he had 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
And played a good game, and overall he's rostered, like I said, 22% of leagues. He's a solid QB option. He's been solid the last few weeks that he played, and stepped up in this offense and has done his thing.
Yeah. So, if you somehow need a QB, I think Russell Wilson could be a great play because he's on a winning offense right now. So I like that.
Both these teams are their next week matchup. They play the Ravens. Both teams on top of their division right now. So this is a very heated matchup. The winner will be first in their division. And the Ravens have been thrown on, so we could see Pickens have a crazy game. At the hand of Russell Wilson.
Yeah. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, they played Baltimore still twice, so 2 good matchups for them rest of the season. So yeah, Russell Wilson, pick him up. He should do good for you. Next on the list, Justin Herbert, who's rostered in just over half. I know we don't like to include players in here that are rostered in over 50% of leagues, but basically in 1 of 2 leagues, he's still available. They have good matchups upcoming. They do play Baltimore week 12, and they've already gone through their bye week. So pick up Justin Herbert, even as a stash, even if you don't use him. Or maybe if you're dealing with quarterback issues, pick him up, play him. Or if you have a quarterback on bye. We got a couple quarterbacks on bye this week. So pick up Justin Herbert, plug him into your lineup. He's got good matchups upcoming. Even this matchup against Cincinnati on Sunday night. Should be good. Should be a game. He should do solid for you.
Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, you could honestly play him because the Bengals defense is not that good. That team gets thrown on really easily. So, Justin Herbert you could play him, and then I would more than definitely put him as a stash just in case if you don't have a backup QB, if you have room for that.
Yeah, that's it for the quarterbacks. I might throw in Jameis Winston just for fun, as he's a fun quarterback. They play the Saints.
Saints.
So
we won this week. Hey, your Broncos lost this week. Your Broncos lost. My Saints won, bro. I'm just trying to be real.
Heartbreaking.
Sorry to the Broncos fans.
Almost gave the Chiefs their first L.
Bro, blame that left guard, bro. 50 something.
I don't know why he was on that side. He should have been on the other side.
Vegas told him to be there. Jameis Winston rostered in 8% of leagues. I mean, he's coming off a bye. He's just going to throw the ball. I would stash him. He's just a backup quarterback, honestly, in most leagues. Let's move on to the wide receiver pickups. At the top, Ricky Pearsall, who got shot before the season started, but is now having to step in on this 49ers offense. They've had their bye week. They play Seattle next week, divisional matchup. So he had a solid game, 4 receptions on 6 targets and a touchdown. And that team is, if you listen to our trade targets episode, we discussed the Niners are trying to win their division. They're kind of battling it out with the Cardinals. So they're going to be playing lights out. They're trying their hardest to get a win each week. And Ricky Pearsall is going to have to step up. So roster in 38% of leagues. Pick him up if he's still available.
Yeah, if I needed a right wide receiver, I'm using my waiver wire pickup on Ricky Pearsall just because the Niners offense are finally healthy. They have all their weapons. I think one of you guys in the last episode was talking about Juwan Jennings moving to the X, and it obviously worked out. And so Ricky Pearsall is probably filling in the position that Juwan Jennings was playing. And obviously that worked out. So I just see it going up from there if he stays healthy.
Yep, sounds about right. Moving on, Alec Pierce rostered in 15% of leagues. Without Pittman there this week, he did solid. He caught a touchdown late in the game. I think Pittman is probably going to be out for a few weeks. He's been dealing with his back issue. Who knows? Honestly, they didn't really. I don't think it's very clear to my knowledge. But either way, he's worth a stash as long as Flacco's quarterback. If they decide to go back to Anthony Richardson, you can dump anyone on the Colts. All Colts players can be thrown into the trash, or at least.
I feel like Alec Pierce was kind of thriving with Richardson a little bit.
He had
deep balls.
Yeah.
I mean, he had some games where he had, right? Like, I think he had 3 good games. One of those was with Flacco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flacco's definitely better. And Alec Pierce has a decent touchdown rate. So
yeah.
I mean, it's 4 in the season, but yeah.
He's solid.
Yeah. Decent pickup. I mean, just stash him if you have a good matchup, or if you just need a flex. Some of these bye weeks coming up, maybe you can plug him in, but worth a pickup. Next on the list, Christian Watson. Why is he on this list?
Look, I put him in the list so that you guys know. I put him in that list.
I need to know.
Before the bye week. Listen.
Yeah.
Before the bye week, his targets went up. He had 6 targets and 7 targets, and his playoff schedule looks great. That's a person that I would stash on my bench if somehow one of my receivers gets hurt in the next over a few weeks, and I feel like he can be he could just somehow help you win towards the end of the season. So
I'm not mad at it. I think he should definitely be a bench stash.
Yeah,
good stash. How about Dontavian Wicks?
No, that man he was a 1-game wonder.
He was a 2-game wonder.
Sure.
He had a 1-game Minnesota and then Houston. Both games got a touchdown.
Probably more so.
I'd go Watson.
Tough.
That's just me. Watson just looks good. That's just me.
Watson's injury prone.
That's true, but he's been healthy for a while now, like 4 weeks.
He's been okay. Yeah. Yeah. I would prioritize Christian Watson over Dontavian Wicks, but yeah, he's coming off a bye and could be on waivers. Rostered in 42% of leagues when I checked on Yahoo. Dontavian Wicks rostered in 22% of leagues. Possibly worth a stash as well. Just a stash, not really. I wouldn't use a waiver claim on Dontavian Wicks. Yeah. Moving on, Mike Williams, who played well over in Steelers offense since he, moved over from the Jets. He only had 1 target, right? But he had a touchdown. So it did enough, right?
Yeah.
That was the game winner. Was that not the game-winning touchdown?
I think it was.
It came late in the game. It might have been the game winning, but it wasn't the last drive of the game.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was like the deciding touchdown. But hey, I mean, he's just came back from just came over from the Jets.
He'll definitely have more games. I'm interested to see how it goes with the Ravens, right? Because you see in that play, you can't leave him alone one-on-one. Right?
Yeah.
6'4" receiver, he has speed. He could, over the shoulder think. It's easy, right? So you kind of have to have a safety shadow him, and then it leaves Pickens open. So
exactly,
I think Russell Wilson's is good at throwing those lofty passes over the shoulder. So.
Yeah, I was talking about Mike Williams heavy in the Week 10 midweek report and in our previous episodes. Just saying Mike Williams was not used well on the Jets, and the Jets look horrible right now, obviously. But Mike Williams, he just obviously 1 target. We need to see more from him. But Mike Tomlin knows what to do with Mike Williams. Whether it's get him the ball or just divert the defense towards him and then get the other guys open. So Mike Williams being used really, really well.
Yeah, he's rostered in 18%. Is that true? Yeah, in Yahoo, he's rostered in 18% of leagues, so pretty available in most of your guys' leagues. Not even 1 in 5 leagues he's taken. So yeah, he's readily available, and they have good schedule upcoming, so pick him up. Last but not least, a Saints player, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, aka MVS.
My boy.
I'm not going to repeat his entire name ever again.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I'll repeat his name every time.
Okay. I'm going to refer to him as MVS. He's a Saints player, which this one might be a bit of just like a post firing the coach kind of like resurgence, like some teams kind of have that burst after they fire the head coach when the team's not doing well. So he may have just had a surprise game. None of the other receivers did anything, and they have no one else. So I think the other guy, Mason Tipton, didn't do anything. So yeah, he's probably the best receiver they have. I think he's also 6'4", big guy. So big guy do big things, you know what I'm saying?
Anyways, yeah, pause.
Anyways, he's rostered in 2% of leagues, so he's readily available. He's a stash. Just put him on your bench.
Yeah, stash.
If he does it again against Cleveland, hey, cool. He had 3 targets, but he had 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. So maybe the new deep threat for the Saints. So it could be worth holding on to. That does it for wide receivers. Who's your guys' top 3? Who do you go for?
Top 3, Christian Watson, Ricky Pearsall, Mike Williams.
I probably got Pearsall, Mike Willie, and then probably Watson.
I agree with MFB. Sorry, BBTB. I think
it's okay,
Watson's probably third on that list. Mike Williams, he has such a good schedule upcoming, and he's a good receiver. So the other 2 guys, I wouldn't put in a waiver claim on them. So the first 3 probably you can put in a waiver claim for them. On to running backs. At the top of the list, Audric Estime for the Broncos, who I think had 14 rushing attempts against the Chiefs versus 1 rush attempt from Javonte, who's looked terrible and just not look good. And I have in my league, so he's killing me.
But this is Deshaun Watson all over again.
So it's no. I sat him this week. I knew he's playing Kansas City. I sat him. So I knew to sit him. Not that my other player did much better, but
because of MFB sits. Huh?
I was about to say MFB called that sit. By the way,
yeah, that was MFB. That's the reason why. Not because Kansas City's been crazy against the run. Yeah. So Estime had 14 carries to Javonte's 1 carry. I don't know what happened there. It's really weird. I mean, the coach, Sean Payton, said they're trying to get Estime involved more in that offense, and they did this game against Kansas City. I don't know what's going on. Are they just moving on from Javonte? It really sucks to have him, and then I dropped him right before the game. I was like, nah.
I feel like it's kind of like a 50-50 shot, because with Sean Payton, I don't know if I really trust Sean Payton on like his usage. I
mean, he showed it in this game against Kansas City.
But did he say that after this game, or did he say it?
No, he said that before. Estime's going to get
really
more involved.
Oh,
yeah, that was before the game.
Okay.
He said,
then it might be for real.
Yeah.
I like him as a pick. I think the snap shares were kind of even, right? And you already stated the carries, right? Estime got them all. I know the routes Javonte ran 10 and Estime ran 9. So low-key even and the routes ran.
Yeah.
But Estime is still like somebody possibly waiver worthy.
Yeah. I mean, just with the very few running back options there are nowadays, and if your running back gets injured, you want someone that you could plug in, maybe as a plug-in for whenever you have a player on bye or something. Either way, I would not be looking to start Estime this week. I would wait to see, put him on your bench, see how he does, see if he's for real, like Sean Payton moving on. Same with Javonte. If you have him, just sit him. Don't play him this week against Atlanta. Next on the list, Gus Edwards, who is back from injury. He got a good number of snaps and may start eating into J.K. Dobbins' workload. He's a handcuff. I don't know if he's actually going to like start to take over that backfield because J.K. Dobbins is just the more explosive, the better back overall. And we saw that in the beginning of the season. Edwards did not look that good. Who knows? Maybe now he's healthy. He's a lot better. But either way, he's a stash, a handcuff for J.K. Dobbins. He's worth a pickup though, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say I was gonna just move on. You guys could just
definitely. Yep.
I mean, I put him in. So
yeah. Last name on this list, Cam Akers, who got some work, but mostly because we had Aaron Jones get injured in that game, or he had some sort of injury in that game. So Cam Akers came in.
What is the injury?
It was a chest injury in the game, but now they're saying it's a rib.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So this could be a big ad, right?
Yeah. I mean, if and we talked about him in last week's episode. We said he's worth a stash. So if you guys listen, in the last week's waiver episode, we talked about Cam Akers, and if Aaron Jones misses time, he's the number one back. Like, he's going to be taking over, and he played for the Vikings last season, if I'm not mistaken.
He did. He got traded from the Rams.
Yeah, from the Rams. That's right. So he's played with him before. He's used to that offense. They know him. So, and they liked him enough.
It's only a matter of time between old man Aaron Jones gets hurt. we kind of mentioned this like a couple weeks ago, I remember.
Yeah. And we talked about it in the waiver episode. So that's why you guys need to listen to the waivers. That's it for running backs. Anyone else? No? Okay, cool. Moving on to tight ends. Why is Jonnu Smith in here?
Look, brother. It's like, let you guys know.
I need to explain this.
Listen, brother. Listen.
Yeah, okay.
Jonnu Smith, right? Give me a second. Yeah. Give me a second.
All right. While BBTB looks up those stats, we're going to talk about Dawson Knox, who could step in because there was an injury in the Bills game.
Yeah, Kincaid got a knee injury.
Yeah, and I think they're saying he's day-to-day. So if he doesn't play, if he doesn't go, Dawson Knox would be a plug-and-play tight end.
Yeah. So check Kincaid's status. If not, Dawson Knox would be a go.
Yep. Yeah, and then with Jonnu Smith, he's just, in the past like 5 games, averaging around 6 targets a game. So if he just, he's getting the targets. If one of those is a touchdown, boom.
Touchdown dependent. But
it's a waiver ad. You know what I'm saying? It's a waiver ad.
I'm not wasting a waiver claim on Jonnu Smith.
Not a claim. A lot of people wouldn't, but just leave him there. Like there's a
stash or
like, okay. So I know a guy personally that picked him up this week. Like I might know him really close.
Yeah.
Well, I had bye issues, but yeah.
So buys. So this week you got Cardinals on bye. If you have McBride, would you pick up Jonnu Smith and play him?
Yes.
Would you pick up Dawson Knox if Kincaid doesn't go?
I would pick up Dawson Knox, sure.
Dawson Knox is the number one. I would take Dawson Knox over Jonnu Smith.
Well, yeah, because you got Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman hurt. So.
Yeah. I would prioritize Dawson Knox. That does it for tight ends. Not much there, guys. If you're dealing with tight end issues, I'm sorry. There's nothing we can tell you besides good luck. It's kind of dry out there on the waivers.
Yeah.
For tight ends, everyone's kind of struggling, and there's not many good ones. So it's really tough. But those two names, Dawson Knox is for sure the bigger ad of the two. Because if Kincaid were to miss, Josh Allen would be throwing to him. So moving on from tight ends to defenses, at the top, Lions defense against the Jaguars. I'm pretty sure. I mean, reports are saying that they're going to sit Trevor Lawrence. He's dealing with some AC joint or some shoulder issue, and they sat him this week 10, or they sat him this last week 10.
Mm-hmm.
And they're likely going to sit him week 11 because they have the week 12 bye. They're not winning games. There's no reason to rush him back in there and try to get a win. And the Lions defense has been playing really well. Got a couple interceptions against Houston. So they're rostered 62% of leagues. They're probably not on waivers, but go pick them up. It'd be a great play.
Yeah, I'd definitely go play Lions defense this week. If they're in the league, use your waiver claim, go get Lions defense. Easily.
100%.
Yeah. Thank you, MFB, for the input. Rams defense. Rams defense versus New England, rostered in 23% of leagues. New England's offense sucks, so it's just purely matchup based. New England's not been very good, so Rams defense should be able to capitalize, and they played pretty well against the
Dolphins.
Miami. The Miami Dolphins Monday night. They were getting to the quarterback, getting a couple sacks. They had an interception and a fumble recovery. But yeah, Rams defense is solid. They've been playing pretty well against terrible New England offense. Should be no brainer. A couple more. Miami defense against the Raiders, rostered in 30% of leagues. Yeah, you start team defenses against the Raiders, unless it's the Panthers. Don't start the Panthers defense in any situation ever.
Yeah.
But that's just a matchup thing. And then Green Bay defense against Chicago. Chicago offense is not really moving, so Green Bay defense should be a very solid stream this week.
Yeah. How are we ranking?
I'm going
Lions,
Packers. I mean, okay, yeah. Well, Lions, yeah. But besides that, because they're owned so much. I'm probably going Packers, and then Miami, and then Rams.
Yeah.
Yes. I have that same exact order.
I would go, you know what, just switch it up. Miami number 1, Green Bay number 2, Rams number 3. This is besides the Lions. If the Lions are available,
Lions are number 1 by far.
Kickers, we're going to jump into some kickers. Just, if you don't have one, you need someone to tell you who to start, because sometimes you just get so unlucky that every kicker you pick sucks. It happens. Jason Sanders from the Miami Dolphins with Tua back. That offense is moving against the Raiders, who are not good. They're just going to keep scoring on them. Eventually, they're just going to start scoring field goals. Rostered in 44% of leagues, so pretty available. Jake Bates against the Jaguars are not going to do anything, especially with no Trevor Lawrence. They're going to score a lot of points. Therefore, Jake Bates should get a lot of opportunities. And then Joshua Carty versus New England. This kind of goes along with the defenses. Yeah. So the defenses that are going to do a lot of work, like Jake Bates from the Lions, if the defense is, turning the ball over a lot and the offense doesn't need to score, they'll just run a bunch. And if they don't score, field goal unit comes out, free kick or field goal, and then, 3 points or 3 to 5 points, whatever, depending on scoring format. So, yeah, this should be pretty straightforward. Teams that are going to be able to steamroll the other team, they're going to kick a lot just because they're going to be up by a lot. So, those options are out there.
Just got to give a BBTB hot take, because I don't know what a video is without a BBTB hot take.
Yeah.
These
what was
kickers.
Your hot take last week?
Hold up, bro.
I want to bring that up.
Hold up, bro. You can find that. But BBTB hot take, these kickers are going to score at least double digits each. So 10 points each or more. Hot take.
Man. Yeah, so if you guys want to put a parlay out there on these kickers scoring
over.
Hit the over on the kickers.
So Keem, what was that hot take?
Yeah, BBTB, we'd like to go back and talk about your hot take. I think your hot take was something about the Giants offense. I can't remember exactly.
I said that neighbors. This is a neighbors game.
I think you said the Giants offense is gonna
turn around if they win this game
and turn. No. You said they're gonna put in work and they're gonna turn around starting with this game, which was the Carolina game, which they lost in overtime.
You get Brad Tyrone Tracy, bro. He fumbled.
He fumbled, bro. That's bad.
They had that. And Malik Neighbors got hurt during that game.
we're not gonna talk about Tyrone Tracy's fumble because they're on bye this week and what that might do to him. In terms of, are they going to give Singletary more of the carries, or are they going to split it more because he fumbled a crucial fumble? But we'll talk about that next week. That'll do it for the waiver episode. BBTB, do you have anything else you want to say? Any other hot takes?
That's it.
Cool. All right. We'll see you guys in the next episode, and stay tuned to find out what that is. We'll release it on Thursday this week. Take care, guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.